The result was a crushing defeat for the North. They lost over 12,000 soldiers in a very short engagement. And what's coming up now, time-wise? What? No, not that, no, think about, what time of the year is this?
Oh, December.
Yeah, winter's coming up. So
Christmas.
after the Battle of Fredericksburg, what's going to happen is both the North and the South are going to take positions close to home, the North being Washington, D.C., and the South being at Richmond, and they're going to kind of dig in for the winter. You're not going to see a lot of fighting in the winter. And right after this battle, Lincoln's going to officially announce the Emancipation Proclamation, and he's going to hope for a better 1863, right? Okay? All right, well that'll take us then to the Battle of Chancellorsville. Yep.
So they were waiting for a victory before they did the Emancipation Proclamation, but there was a defeat between.
Yeah, see, well the point being is he made that decision and got things going on, and there was no coming back, you know what I'm saying? And so what he did is he had to go with it. You know, they made the decision to go. He didn't expect Burnside to go do something stupid like that and just get crushed,
So
but
does
he
he
did.
take Burnside back now?
Well, let's see. Battle of
I
Chancellorsville.
assume so.
Well, when spring arrived, Lincoln changed overall commanders again. This time he turned to General Joe Hooker. So he's just playing this game that's not working very well. So if we talk about the Battle of Chancellorsville, when spring arrived, Lincoln again changed overall commanders. This time he went to General Joe Hooker. And he's going to be real aggressive. Hooker's going to take 130,000 Union troops into battle against the Confederacy at Chancellorsville, Virginia. So what have they done over the winter? They built up their forces, the Union, and he's going to take a massive amount of men, 130,000 men, against the Confederates at Chancellorsville, Virginia. Now, Lee is badly, badly outnumbered here. And he knows the Union's coming. Badly outnumbered. Now, I don't know if this will be a scale, but you know, here's the Union troops coming, 130,000. Here's Lee's troops, very much smaller unit. Okay? And what he does is he pulls kind of a, we'll talk about General Custer in the Battle of Little Bighorn, but what Lee does is he divides his smaller army into two separate units, which really doesn't make sense. You do that when you're so small. But he does that, he divides them. And he takes half, so to speak, and he puts General Stonewall Jackson in charge, and he orders him to attack the Union Army from kind of the behind or side area as they're marching to Chancellorsville. Okay? So what Lee does is he boldly divides his army into two separate units, and he orders General Thomas Jackson to attack Hooker's troops in a surprise move, but he left himself here very what? Undermanned. Okay? So, again, Lee's going to order General Thomas Stonewall Jackson to attack Hooker's troops in a surprise move. Is Hooker going to expect to be attacked from this way? He thinks everybody's here at Chancellorsville, right? He isn't expecting anything on the side here. So, General Jackson did catch Hooker and the Union troops by surprise. General Hooker and the troops were expecting all of Lee's troops to be at Chancellorsville. And as they're fighting off Jackson towards the rear, Lee takes his men and moves aggressively towards the Union force. And because of better strategy, they actually defeat Hooker and that massive amount of Union troops, despite the fact they were really undermanned, probably 2-1. So because of the surprise move over here by Jackson and the aggressiveness on the part of Lee, the Confederates win a huge victory at Chancellorsville when they really shouldn't. It was all strategy. Robert E. Lee was the best strategic commander maybe we ever had in this country other than George Patton. I mean, he was very, very good. Well, even though this was a great Confederate victory, they paid a high price, the Confederates. General Stonewall Jackson was accidentally shot by his own men. They mistook him for the enemy. Wouldn't be difficult to do, and you'll understand that. Okay, you get in these big battles, and he accidentally was mistaken for the enemy, and he was shot. Now, he was just shot in the arm. And what was the common practice if you were shot in the arm? They said his arm was amputated. So he was shot in the arm. His arm was amputated, which was a common practice for wounds like that in the Civil War. And he was certainly expected to live. But got infected, he got a high fever, and died. So things weren't like they are now. Okay? So he was shot in the arm. He went to see the medical staff. They amputated his arm, which was normal for that particular injury. Unfortunately, as Brooks said, he got a high fever of an infection. He actually also had an undetected internal injury of some kind, where he's bleeding inside. But all of those things together, after the battle, cost him his life. Now, after Jackson's death, Lee was quoted as saying, "I have lost my right arm, and I know not how to replace it." Lee meaning that Jackson was the best commander he had under his command.
And that's when he used arm.
Yeah, a little bit of ironic. Yeah. "I've lost my right arm and know not how to replace it." Well, think about it. Despite the loss of General Jackson, the Confederate victory at Chancellorsville is going to give them renewed confidence they could win the war. So what are the Confederates going to do?
Take the offensive.
They're going to take the offensive again and take the war to northern soil. This time at Gettysburg. Now I'm going to say Gettysburg because it's an important, it's going to be a little longer battle. We're going to see a video on it. I think you'll enjoy it. So what we're going to do is we're going to quit for today, and we'll get this on the website for those that aren't here. Okay? And we will continue with the Battle of Gettysburg on Tuesday because there is no school on Monday. For those listening to the video, tomorrow we will not engage in any material. We'll do something a little bit different.